It's Monday, August 14th. This is an end of the day SPY recap, first day of the week, and you can see we end up with a nice green 2 up bar that kind of started above the midpoint of the prior day, worked its way higher for most of the session, closing green. In terms of an actionable signal, this was a 3 bar on Thursday, then a 2 bar down, kind of a 2 down failure that closed green. So it's a 3, 2 down, 2 up actionable signal that you could have anticipated a little bit early in the session that was developing. And now, we see if the 2 up continues and kind of reaches up towards the target up here. The interesting thing is this was a pretty big selling tail, so we might get, we're going to really monitor if we start higher how it reacts to that halfway point. But for the moment, there's no real down signal in play until we get something that reverses and threatens to take out the open of today. If we gap down tomorrow, it could be a 2 down right out of the gates. But if we kind of hold up here, then you might need more of a 2 up that can't reach its target and then get 2 down to even begin to think about short, going short. In terms of the weekly chart, yes, last week, after a lot of attempts to go lower, we didn't really, close too strongly red. We followed through a little bit from this big red bar, but we had, and I discussed this on some videos, one attempt here, there was a second attempt, and there was a third attempt that closed green. So it's not surprising that we didn't get momentum, out of the gates to immediately take those lows out. And as it turns out, right out of the gates, if the pre-market range was from between the blue lines, price immediately kind of started near the bottom of the range green. It kind of held there for 2 bars, and there was your breakout buy right there. And then you had one push up, little pause, second push up to take out those pre-market highs, and that was essentially it. It went sideways for the most of the session, and there were some secondary buys. Once it took out some liquidity here and here, that kind of worked its way back up to the top of the range again. But essentially, most of the move was in the morning, and then it kind of went sideways, closing strong. So you're looking for follow through tomorrow, as long as we hold above the midpoint of the of today, and we'll see how it kind of starts attacking these highs. And if in fact we get a 2 up week out of this, or at this point we're just inside of the previous week. So I don't know for sure if we're gonna get a whole big reversal up until we really get a 2 up bar. But everything now is just kind of going with the flow and kind of anticipating what may or may not develop on this weekly chart. Same thing with the monthly chart. We've kind of come down a little bit from the start of the month, but we're just inside of the prior month. So if let's just say all month long we stay inside of here, then it's into September to see if we break up and test an inside bar. Could definitely break out strong one way, or it could fail one way. But for now, even though we have some volatility, month of August is still just a big inside bar. So we want to really see at this point, there's a pretty long way to go to get continuation of the upside, and yet we haven't really broken down on the monthly chart yet with a 2 down type of bar. So the weekly chart had that pullback, had a bunch of attempts lower last week that didn't follow through all that much, and then we got actually an actionable signal here on the daily chart, 3, 2 down, 2 up today, that projects a little higher. So we'll see what develops, but it was a good day right out of the gates just to kind of go with opening price action, grasp that you had a actionable signal on the daily chart to the upside, so you could have got in early up here, and then you anticipate kind of getting to take out yesterday's high and the pre-market high. So it was a very nice trade in the morning to the upside.